July in the Hampshire countryside, and as summer takes hold in earnest, harvest time is in the offing, and school and family holidays are not too far down the road. The small river Bourne rises near Easton in Wiltshire and flows a score of miles south through parts of Hampshire and on to join the Avon below Salisbury. Villages along its course include Binley, Stoke, Hurstbourne, Tarrant, and also St Mary Bourne, which used to be considered such a healthy place to live that it was said that those born in the village would live as long as they liked. The Bourne is one of those traditional southern streams which has plentiful water during the wet months but dries up in the summer. Hard indeed on farmers and growers in the days before taps and mains and irrigation, who relied on it for all their crops and for their animals. In those times, when men and women knew what physical work really meant, supplies of water often had to be carted a dozen miles and more in horse or ox-drawn wagons. No doubting that this is rich men's country, with village houses at a premium and plots of land for ponies changing hands for a king's ransom. And how the world has changed in the generations since thatched cottages along the river valley were the dwelling places of peasants and farm labourers who walked miles to their work and back each day in return for a few shillings a week. Difficult to imagine what those simple folk would make of today's wealthy country folk with their burglar alarms and sleek motor cars, but hard to resist the belief that the old-timers left a better and more lasting impression on the southern countryside than those of us who are fortunate enough to live in these precious places today. There's not much wrong with July unless life itself is choosing to give you a hard time. There's warmth in the air as you wake and as you go to bed. Animals graze contentedly in the water meadows. Birds chatter and feed from dawn to dusk. Crops grow richly in the fields. And village people tend their gardens and dream of family weekends in the sunshine and holiday times to come. A time of the year indeed for optimism, hope and happiness. Countryman, farmer and estate agent Peter Corbett cherishes his idyllic patch in the Hampshire village of Binley. With a menagerie of poultry, horses, sheep and game, Peter spends every spare moment tending to their needs and enjoying their company. He also takes sheer delight in his beautiful surroundings, and in such a glorious setting, who could fail to fall in love with this place?
I get up at about 6 in the morning. I'm out by about 6:30. It's not such fun in the winter because it's dark, but it's lovely at this time of year.
Why do you work so hard?
Well, some people say I don't, so I don't know. It's a way of life, isn't it? Yeah, these chickens are just kept, just for the house for eggs, but I don't eat eggs, but everybody else seems to.
Do you eat chicken?
Oh, I don't mind eating chicken, as long as it's not foreign chicken.
These are really pretty eggs, Peter. They're lovely.
Yes, they're quails. Here's a pair. That's a hen, you can see she's speckled, and that's the cockbird. And when you breed them, they all come out cockbirds, unfortunately. They're a short-lived bird. They don't live more than 2 years. Quail.
Why do you breed them?
Well, why do you do it? Just a bit of fun. And nobody else has fresh quail eggs. We do. We've been in Binley since 1970. We built the farm up and wouldn't want to leave. There's no quieter place. Right, Joe, we better go and have a look at some more animals. Can't spell a bit.
She's lovely.
These are Muff, my wife's domain. She does all the horses. And this one is Derby Spirit. She was born on the day Shergar won the Derby.
So do you actually make money out of them?
We don't make money. Nothing here you've seen today's made any money yet. But that's why I keep the day job. But no, but you have a lot of fun. Come on, girls. We always had black-faced sheep here from our place up in Scotland on the Isle of Mull, and I got tired of them getting under the fence and over the fence, so I like a horned sheep, so I started a Dorset horn flock in 1983. That's all right. I don't have a dog on them at all. If you work dogs on your flock, then the minute you go in the field with it, they'll be right up the other end. When you move them, just get a bag, rattle the bag, and they'll come. Go, girls. Count them, you'll go to sleep. Go, girls.
Have you ever been out of the country?
I went out once in 1982. My partners made me go to Amsterdam, so I had to get a throwaway passport. We stayed out there a night. I wasn't very impressed. You can't get a pint of beer. And so I came back through the customs and I said they could keep my passport. I wouldn't need it again. And luckily I haven't, and I don't intend to. I think this country's just great.
Penny Claridge helps to make dreams come true for many children in the surrounding area. With over 30 horses and ponies in her care, she teaches youngsters from the age of 5 how to ride. Once they're able to take charge of their steeds, Penny takes the children to gymkhanas and shows in the area, where they're able to compete for colourful rosettes. But as well as the pleasure Penny gets in seeing her pupils learn and succeed, there's a never-ending list of chores to do in order to keep the place shipshape and ready for the arrival of the budding riders.
The reason I started this was really to support my horses. I had too many horses and they were doing nothing and costing me a lot of money. And lots of people asked me if I could teach them to ride, and it seemed a natural progression. And from there on it just grew like Topsy. I specialise really in small children because we seem to somehow have many more little ponies, and therefore small children was the obvious answer. We start off leading them on foot on the lead rein, walking beside them until I'm quite happy that they can cope with a trot, not necessarily a perfect rising trot, but can cope with a trot, and then I ride my horse and I lead one on either side or just one at a time. I just acquired Vicky back to work with me. She trained with me about 5 years ago, I think she said it was now. She thinks like I do, so the horses, the animals come first with Vicky, which is the way I think as well. And her ideals are the same as mine. It's horses first. The other thing we do a lot of here is special needs riding. It is a really great thing to do. But we go out round the farm. We're very lucky because we're situated on my parents' farm, which is 400 acres, and our neighbour's farm is also 400 acres, so we can ride around the farm. Lots of wildlife to point out to the children. We have lots of buzzards and even the odd kite here and there. The children often see deer, which is great for them, hares, rabbits, and lots of wildlife. Okay, William, are you ready? Come on then, on you come. Come on, Shadow. On you come. Up the steps, darling. So obviously I love my job. I wouldn't do it otherwise. I wouldn't work the silly hours I do work. I love working with the horses and particularly the small children. Reins, nice and short. Good boy. Up you jump. And it's a question of matching the child's ability to the pony and also the height and weight ratio. That's very important. On you go. You lead the way. Everybody follow William. Wakey, wakey. Shorten your reins on her. Shorten your reins by a mile. Okay, William, keep up, Izzy. Right, on you go, look up, and kick, 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 keep going. Look up, good boy. Once they're quite capable of riding out on their own, I put them in the field, and we start to teach them things like diagonals, trotting poles without their hands, take their stirrups away, and generally do a little bit of jumping and basic dressage. All very basic, because you need to keep the children happy and enthusiastic. Katie, sit up, sit up, sit up. Kick on, William, because they're getting a bit close again now, so kick on, look up. Very good. Well done, Katie. Go on, keep going. kick, kick, kick. Izzy. Living where we do now is what I've always wanted to do. I grew up here and lived abroad for quite a long time, but always wanted to come back to Hampshire and to the family farm. It's where I wanted to finish up, so I'm very pleased nothing would move me from here now. Izzy, you little beast. Izzy, over here, over here, over here. This way.
Surprise, what are you not find? Wanna take you along? Wanna take you and away the wind blow, baby. Don't be maybe that's what we're about tonight. Wanna take you along? Wanna take you and away the wind blow, baby. Don't be maybe that's what we're about tonight. Wanna take you along? Wanna take you and away.
For Dan Cully, the month of July is probably one of the most important in the year. With 30 acres of fruit and vegetables to grow, this season is both hectic and, God willing, productive.
We grow strawberries, raspberries, just started blueberries this year for the first time, currants, gooseberries, as well as vegetables, lots of different sorts of vegetables, potatoes, carrots, cabbage, bull beans, very popular. If you've got an outside crop of strawberries, they're very prone to weather, obviously slugs, pests, diseases, you name it. Whereas in the tunnels, it's a very controlled environment and you can literally water them when you need to, you can do any work on them when it's dry, and it's just a controlled environment, and that's why they are so special, really. I employ Slovakian pickers, and they're great, hard-working people, do a good day's work, and I really couldn't do it without them. I think certainly pick your own in itself is extremely hard work, and it's not something which is done very easily, but the pleasure is, it's a way of life, and it's living and being in the countryside and producing fruit and veg which people appreciate, and you can see an end result.
Bye-bye. Hi John, hi Bev, how are you?
Back again.
What have you got then?
Broad beans, onions.
Mum and Dad are great, they work extremely hard, I couldn't do it without them, and Dad's quite a character, and we do get quite a lot of customers who are big characters, which helps it all go with a swing.
Yeah. She was half surprised. 170 for the onions. I love that, thank you.
How much is that?
170. Thank you. More strawberries again, Bev?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Brilliant. I shall finish those tonight.
320, please.
There we are. That's great. Thanks, Wyndham.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot then.
Good.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Jacob's 4.5. He absolutely loves coming up here. He loves being on the tractor, loves helping me out, certainly on the farm, but also just digging potatoes, carrots, you name it. I think we're very fortunate just to be in an environment and the countryside that, you know, is so full of wonderful things for children. I've lived here all my life. Can't imagine living anywhere else. It's just in my blood, I guess. We supply a lot of shops and restaurants, and also we have obviously the farm shop, which we supply a lot of fruit and veg through that. People are being more aware of what they're eating and how it's affecting their everyday lives, really. But also on a wider scale, it's great that kids are taking an interest in what they eat, and their parents as well, and I just hope it continues.
Son of a pigman, Jim Brighty is known throughout the local area for his talents in carpentry and wood-turning. He's risen to many a challenge and has made bowls, lamps, tables, chairs and even a four-poster bed. But whilst Jim's woodworking was both his living and his hobby, since retiring there's another love in his life, bowling. Whenever there's a moment to spare, Jim and his wife Marion are eager to get to the club at St Mary Bourne to enjoy a roll-up with friends.
When I retired, I was talked into coming to the bowling club to see how I got on, and it went quite well, so I've carried on from there. Len mows twice a week. Terry usually trims the whiskers around the edges. That's what we call it. There is other jobs to do which we all muck in and help out with.
Come on, have a good game anyway. Thanks, Janet.
I enjoy the company more than anything else. We have got a good crowd and we do have a bit of fun, quite a lot of fun actually. All right, there is serious bowling, but generally speaking, we have a good laugh and it's good company and you meet a lot of people, an awful lot of people from around different clubs. You get to know over the years, and when you go to the club again, they recognise you and we have a chat. It's a good thing in retirement, I think.
Drink 3, I think.
Today we've only got what I call silver tops here, ones that are retired. But we have got young players from 14 up to 80 plus actually. So we've got quite a wide range of bowlers.
Yeah, lovely weight.
Well, it's a marvellous spot. The views up over the hills. We haven't had a good day today, but on a sunny day it is really a beautiful spot.
About too short.
Marion and I usually at the club 4 to 5 days during the week. Gets a bit much at times, but it's only a short season, that's the problem. It only runs from April till the middle of September. And then, of course, the green's too damp and we can't play on it.
Derek Munyon moved from Buckinghamshire to St Mary Bourne with his job 28 years ago. An added bonus to the move was that living nearer the sea enabled him to sail the dinghy, which he lovingly built himself. Since an early age, Derek enjoyed making miniature boats, and when he retired 5 years ago, he joined the Model Yacht Sailing Club, which meets every Sunday morning on the lake in St Mary Bourne.
Today we're racing 1 metre racing yachts, which is just the overall length of the hull. And they all have more or less the same sail area, but slightly different hull designs. So some have a slight advantage over others. Some people build their boats themselves. A lot of people buy them, or there's a lot of second-hand boats around as well, which you can buy and have new sails made for and that sort of thing. I mean, we have a lot of fun. I mean, we joke about and we take the mickey out of one another, you know, for various things and tell jokes. And sometimes we distract people's attention. You're telling a joke and of course then they go off course and everywhere's a bit of a laugh. We sail all the year round. The only thing that stops is a really very heavy gale, I mean, which is just too much for the boats. Although we've got smaller suits of sails we can put on. Occasionally, I mean, if it's very, very heavy rain, it'll put us off. But sometimes it's not really a problem. And we don't often get ice, actually, on the pond here. We do get a bit in the occasionally, but it's usually very thin. And we can break that up, you know, it's not a problem. It's an artificial lake. It's got little islands, of course, and lots of fish, ducks, geese, coots, and sometimes we get swans as well. We usually get a minimum of, say, 6 people on the water, and it can go up to about 12.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, gun.
It's mainly down to skill and a certain amount of luck too with the wind, because on a lake like this the wind moves about all over the place and comes through the trees and you get little bits going around in the middle, so you can have your sails set for a certain tack and then suddenly you find the wind's gone around the other way. You have to watch your little birdie on top to see which way that's pointing, set the sails again and off you go.
Thus a week spent in the Bourne Valley on the borders of Hampshire and Wiltshire in the summer of 2005. Only time for a small fraction of what was on offer. Only the chance to meet a half dozen of the hundreds of good people who live in this privileged part of the south of England. In 1858, Thomas Hughes, the author of Tom Brown's School Days, wrote, "I know only 2 English neighbourhoods thoroughly, and in each, within a circle of 5 miles, there is enough of interest and beauty to last any reasonable man his life." What a lesson for our footloose, impatient and dissatisfied age, with so many of us rushing around, traversing the globe and demanding more and richer experiences in ever shorter time spans. The Holy Grail we're seeking may be closer at hand than ever we dreamt, and nowhere near Heathrow Airport, the European Union headquarters in Brussels, or on the slopes of Machu Picchu. It might just be here, in dear, old, overlooked southern England.